Hey, everybody, and welcome to Studio Session Monday. I am your host, Michael Faze, and for today's episode, I will be teaching you guys how to get a thick and deep vocal that reminds you of DEFCON 1, Climax, or even in those cinematic movies like Transformers, which is really, really amazing. And their process, pretty well. Anyways, here in this project file, I have my Calypso vocals that was recorded by a friend of mine. Shout out to Harry Benson. He has an amazing voice, especially in the morning, because it's really deep. And when you process everything at the end, you could get something like this.
Lost within our DNA, we have been sculpted and shaped in ways beyond all reality. Our generation was specifically chosen for this task, and what they call it, Kalypso.
All right. So, just for a rule of thumb, essentially the processing comes down to how deep is your voice. And I want you guys to keep this as a rule of thumb because the deeper your voice goes, the easier it is to get these results. Here's another example. I recorded my own voice, and I normally really hate doing this, but I'm starting to get better at recording my voice. So I can't go as deep as Harry, but I can get a much creepier result. And here's my version with several different pitches, by the way.
Climax, 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 climax.
So as you can see, the two are dramatically different, and depending on how deep your voice is, you can get all sorts of different results. So onto the processing. Now on this chain, I have two chains, two buses, and one is for the main vocal, which is going to be the whole body, and the second is usually a distorted radio layer that I have, inspired by Call of Duty because I have always loved the announcer's voice, so I just decided to have that in my own music. For the first chain, I have the following. I have a de-esser by TB, the computer music version, Sibilance. It's a really great de-esser. It can remove any unwanted noise or AC or a bunch of Dominicans that are your family in your household just talking behind the background. I have Pro C2, which I'm just using just so I can get those peaks that you see over here, just to tame the frequencies. And then I have a Pro Q2. Pro Q2, now for this, you kind of want to experiment because you definitely want to know where you're going with your vocal. How much is your vocal projecting? So like you have the freeze over
Climax,
here. You can see that the bump,
climax,
the lowest bump
climax.
for the bass of the vocal is right around
Lost within our DNA,
123.
we have been.
So I just cut everything out that's under that and then did a quick bump just for the vocal. And then for the vocals highs, I brought up around one 1263 hertz. And then I brought down some of the highs just because I didn't want some of that hiss noise. After the Pro Q2, and this is essential when it comes to getting this sort of result, is pitch wheel. Right now, I have it running around the range of 24, and then I have it dropping down to 12. And the timbre is going to be the one thing that is essential. So mine is at negative 12, and it helps because then you can pretty much fix the tone of the vocal, and you'll be able to hear the words. Uh, Other than that, I have a little bit of saturation, nothing too crazy. I have an ADSR on one of the bands, and the ADSR is only for modulating like glitch effects with the distortion. Because when you ramp it down, it creates this really cool effect, especially since I'm running it through an amp. Uh, Other than that, yeah, I have fruity flangus, and this one's really optional because if I take everything off, it should still sound pretty good. So this is a vocal dry.
Lost within our DNA, we have been sculpted and shaped in ways beyond all reality.
So as you can tell, his voice is fairly, deep, and it works well with the pitches. Now, under that, I have a simple delay, something to just get the wetness out. Now, I know some people don't like to put delays on their actual channel, but for this, I since I have enough processing power, I decided to do it along with the reverb. Most of the time, I usually save the presets that I made in this bus, and then I'll load it onto a bus and then export the bus as well. So that way I have more control of the room. And then timeless just to bring out the delay a little bit more. And then the Valhalla room just to get a nice space. And for the Valhalla room, I'm using Max Brayman's reverb pack. It's a really amazing pack from Freshly Squeezed. I'll make sure to leave a link in the comments so you guys can get it. It's an amazing pack, and it has so many presets that work for practically any instrument or voice or effect. Um, in the second bus, I just have two simple VSTs, Saturn, which is essentially doing the distortion effect. I'll solo it so you can hear it.
Lost within our DNA, we have been sculpted and shaped in.
And in there, I'm just cutting out some of the highs. So that way I don't get none of those gritty frequencies, and I just tone up the high mids and some of the body. I have it at 100. It's really great. And then a Pro Q as well, so I can EQ all the high noises. And then around 2700 just to, eliminate the frequencies that are going to be fighting between the main vocal and this layer. And then, I dip down the body so that way the layers can just mesh together. I could add the body back and then the vocal will be thicker, but it's just personal preference. So, you guys can experiment and you'll find something really neat, but always remember to have that pitch wheel. Uh let's see. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys can take a listen to my track Kalypso. It should be in one of my playlists for releases. You can hear how the end result came out in the track with these settings. So, with that said, this is how you get the climax movie speech effects for your vocals. If you like this video, or have any questions, make sure to give me a thumbs up on the video and post your questions on the comments below, and I'll make sure to answer. Uh, Also, don't forget to follow me on my other socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And till next time, guys, peace.